I guess the first thing to do, use your zoom tools, zoom out to the full page. Everything's set to pixels. Probably a good idea to set up your page, and this is the way I like to do it. Go to Document Properties, and on the page set everything to inches and set it to letter 8.5 by 11. Go over here to grid, make sure we have a new grid on here. We want this to be inches as well, and we'll make it 1/4 of an inch, 0.25, and we'll put every major grid line will be 4/4 of an inch, so that makes nice perfect little grid lines. And of course this is going to be snapping to grid, so we can close that. Alright, so let's say you want to draw a couple of let's just say you're going to draw 3 rectangles. You're probably going to want to be about a 1/2 inch in. Notice the snap to grid is snapping. And we can draw one roughly that size. You can always make them different later. I don't know how close you want them together, it doesn't really matter, you can change them however you want. And now you can just start dragging pictures in here and adding text in these rectangles. And if you need to change the line, you would go to Object, Fill, and Stroke. The fill would be the obvious fill, stroke is the line weight. You can increase it with this little thing here. If you want to make it thicker, generally 0.25 is going to be probably okay. A lot of times if you're going to go with a thicker line, you may want to do something about the corner of the line. See, I can roll in and out using positioning my cursor where I want it to zoom into. Hold the control key and roll my center mouse button inwards and outward, and it scrolls or zooms right in on the area that the area of interest. I can zoom out, zoom into the other corner. The center mouse button, I can push and hold the center and kind of grab it and scroll the screen around. If I want to get back to normal, I can just click this over here. But on the corner, you can tell it, select it first, to be like this, like that, like this. But anyway, we'll just bring it back down to 0.25, which is the way it is up here. Let's go back to that. And so anyway, now let's just say you want 3 boxes and you want it to be kind of even. Alright, this one starts about 1 inch down from the top. We'll say this was going to be 1 inch down from the bottom. So you can add a little text underneath this box if you want to. And it doesn't matter what size this box is. Let's just say that you want it to be exactly in the center, and you can't really eye it up. So what you can do is just highlight all three boxes, go to Object, it's in here somewhere, I know it is. There it is, Align and Distribute. It brings up this little thing here, the stroke, still down here. You can minimize it if you want. It goes into a little tab over here, so you can get it right back. Of course, you can usually, probably better to put this minimized if you don't need it, so you get your full thing back over here. So anyway, I want these to be distributed evenly. Even if the box doesn't fit to the grid perfectly, I can just choose this little deal here. And if you hover, it'll tell you what it's going to do. And that placed that center box exactly in the middle, even though it's not lined up on the grid. See, it's not even lined up on the grid. It calculated the very center for this box, no matter how wide or I mean how tall it is. That way you can put some text between the boxes if you want to, and they can be different sizes. You really don't even need the grid. It's just nice to have a grid to keep everything lined up. And now, of course, you can drag pictures of light bulbs, whatever you want to put in there. And we'll just say, I'm just going to search for light bulbs. And I'll just go to Images. And so there we've got some bulbs. And I'll just tell you what I can do here. I'll just take this one here, and I've got a program, and I know I've installed it on your machine, called Shoddy. And so I will just surround this picture here. Then I'll bring it up inside of a thing here, and I can just hit copy. And now I can just do edit and paste. There it is. And you can just size that. Remember, you got to hold your control key in, you know, to make sure it doesn't, you know, you don't want it to do that. Control Z to get you out of that. And you can kind of eye it, but I like to Control Z. I like to hold the control key in so it keeps the exact aspect ratio. Now remember these over here, I can just go out to the whole page, and if I want to just zoom in on this one square, I can grab this and surround it. It kind of gives me an easy way of positioning these in. So anyway, there you can just, and if you have pictures on your computer that are just somewhere located anywhere, it doesn't matter where, and let's see if I've got some pictures in any of these here. This is some of that stuff you guys had me working on. Let me try to find some more bulbs or something. Let's try crossroads lighting. We'll probably find a couple of something or others in there. Now, that's an interesting pick. So all I gotta do is just drag it right in there. You want to embed the image because you don't want to link it back. You don't want to link it back to this image here. You want it to embed the image right into the document. And of course you can control resize that so you don't screw up the aspect ratio. Place it in there. Put another picture, put some text. There you are. If you want to get a little creative, sometimes you can click on here and kind of maybe, you know, round the corners a little bit. And it snaps to grid too, which makes it kind of handy to be consistent about the rounded corners from one box to the next. And now, of course, you can run into a problem here about the not being lined up with the grid, but whatever. You get the idea. And if you needed to, you can always just duplicate this particular box. But anyway, we're getting off topic. You wanted to denote rectangles, and that's pretty much how you would do it. And like I said, this little button here lets you minimize all these over in the little tabs over here on the right, so you can open one up, get rid of it, open another one up, the align and distribute thing. Okay, rectangles with pictures. Place some text in there, and you know how to do that. And the zoom apparatus over here. See the whole page. Let you navigate around the page quickly. Text here, images, text, images, or text, image. Good luck. If you have any questions, give me a call or email and tell me to call you.